So who is Ziltoid?
He's very sensitive. He's incredibly angry. He's incredibly sad, and he can't quite understand why all these things that he perceives everybody else should be aware of about him, they don't see. And based on the fact that those things actually aren't true. He's actually not as smart as he thinks he is. He's not as talented as he thinks he is. He's not as clever as he thinks he is. And you know, in the new Ziltoid thing, I've got this idea of like he gets mad and he wants to destroy something. That's his reaction to it. He wants to destroy something, so he goes out into the forest and like sees a kitten and he wants to like tries to step on a kitten and just like crush it, but he can't do it. And then he gets furious, right? Because he can't like, you know what I mean?
Be that thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like when you obviously after a certain point that when you become a public figure and you have all these people listening to your music, that they actually construct a shadow self of you that isn't you?
Yeah.
Is that sort of a part of this, or because it's almost like they're actually interacting not with you but with the idea of you?
Well, that's it. And I think that the best way for me to like understand that is to objectify it, right? And that's what Ziltoid's about. And I mean, even hearing myself say it, it sounds like it's just so like, well, I'm objectifying it so I can. But beyond all that shit, it's just, to me, before any of that, it's just, I think it's cool, right? I think it's funny and I think it's fun, right? But I have tried and continue to try to be very social or active on social media to try and diffuse some of that, where people are looking for heroes or looking for people to perhaps, someone is able to construct these vast things through months and months on Pro Tools and then come across like, hey, I'm awesome, right? But in real life, it's like, no, you're just good at a computer program, right? Like,
really good at it, yeah.
That's it. So I think that, at first I was just like, I tried to be really like, hey, I'm confused about everything. I'm really insecure. I talk too much, blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't really matter because I'm just, if I'm to be as analytical with you as I am with everything else in my life, that's what I see, right? Like, it's not like, hey, I'm this and that and the other thing. It's like, this is what I see, right? But what I've also found is like people don't want it to be deflated. Like there's so many times where people really want to believe this
mythical
They really
idea.
do.
Yeah.
They really do. And it's like, it's frightening in a sense. Not frightening, but it's disconcerting in a sense because you're just like, I think it goes back to religion in a lot of ways, right? It's like, because everybody's looking for answers and there's none, right? And it's like, like...
Oh my God. Okay, thunder just cracked over us, so apparently we're getting some answers.
Must be Marilyn Manson. Or his mother calling, right?
That was a bit biblical, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think religion is fucking incredibly cruel. I think it is unbelievably stupid. And it's like...
It's false hope. It's false hope.
And it's tax-free as well. It's just so convenient. But I think that the most important things in life are the things that religion is like predicated on. Is like, maybe faith in something beyond us. Like maybe, as much as we are like the center of the universe and all this, but we're not. It's like, I think Bill Maher can be a condescending prick, but at the same time, I like his idea of just like, I don't know. And I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
In all honesty, because it's like, I think more than anything else, it's cause and effect. It's like if you do something stupid, you're going to draw that to you just because it's like, hey, I thought I could get away with this. Yeah. But it's still in your life and it's eventually going to catch up, right?
Well, it's like, as far as I'm concerned, I think, your world's a perfect reflection of your inner world.
There it is,
and that's the way it works. How does it, like, you're doing this like retinal circus thing and talking about like Ziltoid as a musical. Is this sort of visual thing and something you're really, I mean, it's not a new thing, but it's something you're looking to pursue to express yourself through that way?
Yeah, I'd love to. It all comes down to money. I mean, it's like, what I do is, it's becoming, a little more popular, right? If not popular, it's like it's becoming like, people are like, what the fuck's that guy doing, right? Which I think can translate to maybe a bit more capital. But in order to do what I want to do, it's going to cost a fortune, right? I want to blow stupid amounts of money on Ziltoid and movies. I'd love it. I think it'd be great, right? But, at this point, it's convincing people with money. It's like, I got this puppet, and we're going to do a movie, and it's about outer space, and there's coffee, and and quantum physics, right? And people are like, oh, yeah.
Okay, Devin.
I think I'm going to go buy a boat, But, even if it doesn't happen, it's cool. I've got enough cool people around me that are willing to, like... And there's an element of doing it in a campy way that I think is, like... Again, like, I'm good at getting from point A to point B, But point B is sometimes pretty like
Out there?
held together with like snot and duct tape,
Yeah.
right? So,
Well, how do you kind of see it? Like, how would it work? Like, would it be like animated, or would it be live
All of
action,
it.
or would it be like
Yeah.
3D, or like interactive, or?
when I was younger, I think I was pretty hung up on being the guy, right? Like it was like, oh, it's my vision. I want to be the dude that does everything because then people will see it's me and all this sort of shit. But as I get older and more tired, I find that there's like a lot of those things that, I wanted people to recognize me as being the person that does. I don't do nearly as well as the people that have spent their whole life learning how to do that,
Yeah.
right? So, what we've started to do is put together groups of people that have, like-minded artistic goals, just like, well, fuck it, I mean? It's like, whether or not we ever make money, whether or not, the world is here in 100 years or whatever, while we're here, we might as well just have some fun, right?
Yeah.
And this is what I can bring to the table. Somebody might do visual stuff, someone might do puppet stuff, someone might do graphic arts, I can do what I do, and it's like, and I think eventually if we put together that, and I'm cool with being like a figurehead for it, or like an MC of it or whatever, it's fun,
I
right?
guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,